Hello everyone, it's Rachel. Welcome to my channel and to today's video. For today, we are going to actually be doing a review. I'm going to be reviewing the Lovevery subscription box. Now this is not sponsored in any way. I bought this box with my own money and I just wanted to share with you guys my experience with it, my opinion of it and thoughts, and if I think it is worth the price. So I'm going to be going over product, price, and then my son's response to it and my thoughts on each item. There's quite a bit to this video, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So before we jump into the actual review, I want to talk about what Lovevery is. So it's a subscription box that comes every 2 months for your child that has toys geared toward things they are developing and learning in those 2 months. They are Montessori style toys that are made with safe, quality materials that are tested for harmful chemicals, and it is designed to take the guesswork off of parents so you don't have to try to figure out what your baby or child needs at that stage. They have experts who've done all the research for you. The goal is to provide children with toys to help create developmental experiences. It is easy to sign up and you can unsubscribe at any time before your next box ships. On their website, they also have a whole bunch of other materials, such as you can buy a play gym that they have created. They have a set of playing blocks for kids, as well as a whole bunch of different articles on activities to do with your baby through each stage and different ways you can help your baby to develop language, motion, all those kinds of things. They've got lots of different articles for information. So that's kind of an overview of what Lovevery is. And now I'm going to go into talking about the box I got from them. So I got the sensor box, which is 5 to 6 months. And inside this box, I got toys, a book, a bunch of cards about information on the toys and on what my baby is going through in these 2 months, things they're learning and developing, that kind of thing, as well as a little pamphlet on how to care for the toys and the materials they are made from. So the items I got in my box were a spinning rainbow, a Montessori ball, play socks, a tub and tummy time wobbler, magic tissue box with magic tissues, Parts of Me book, and then the Lovevery information cards and the little pamphlet. Starting off with the spinning rainbow, it's painted with bright colors to attract your baby. It's got a wood or metal, a hard ball inside, so when you spin it, it makes a noise which gets their attention. And it's to encourage them to reach and grab for things that they want. Because in this stage is when your baby is going to start really get the hang of grabbing things, reaching with one and then both hands. So this object is kind of to help them develop that. The next item is the magic tissue box. It's a solid quality box with a magnetic bottom, so you can take it off and put the tissues in. It's to teach them about emptying and filling up containers, as well as the concept of inside and outside. You can use it on its side for tummy time, or when they start sitting up, you can place it upright. And they just have a lot of fun pulling out all the tissues. Next is the Tummy Time Wobbler, and this is a wobbler with a colorful pattern on it. It's great for tummy time play, and it's to help them work on tracking objects and catching objects that are moving. Next is the Montessori Ball, and this is a ball with a colorful pattern like pretty much all of the objects in this box. They really focus on bright, colorful patterns to attract your baby's attention. It teaches them about spheres and how they move, and it's designed to be easy to grasp to help them learn about moving objects from one hand to the other. Oh, my son just woke up from his nap, so I'm gonna have to pause and grab him, and I'll be right back. Next is the play socks, and these are socks with little bells on the toes, and it's to help them with discovering their legs and feet. And it's to help them work on fine motor skills when they try to take the socks off. And then there is the Parts of Me book. These have pictures of other babies and kids, which is great for your baby to look at and see other children. It's also got bright, colorful pages, and they're pretty thick. They're pretty thick, so you don't really have to worry about your baby like ripping them or anything like that. It helps them with developing language and learning about parts of the body, And it also helps him with facial recognition, with seeing other faces. The pamphlet is just a thin little book. It's got some information just about each object, the materials that they're created with, and how to care for each one. And then there is the info cards, and these have a bunch of different sections in them about different topics. First section is talking about your baby's development in those 2 months. It'll talk about things they like to do in those months and things you can do for them or with them. And then it also has a little section on what you can do for yourself as a parent in those 2 months. Then it has a section on each item, which is why it's included in the box and how it helps your baby, as well as different ways you can use it. And then there's another section on some other activities with your baby, either using things around your house or just you and them. And then lastly, there's an other section. The other section in mine was just about solids, because he is starting solids. Usually they start solids in 6 months. So they had a section on that, talking about knowing when they're ready, how to go about it, and then about how to deal with allergies. So there's quite a few cards. There's a lot of information, which is really great and helpful. So that's kind of an overview of what I got in the kit. And now I'm gonna go on to talking about cost. They're an American company, so as an American, you would pay about $40 per month. So since each box covers 2 months of development, it would be $80 per month. You can also prepay for multiple boxes. So instead of buying just one, you can buy more than that. And then you would get a discounted price. Shipping is free in Canada and US over $75. But if you live in Canada, you will have to pay customs and duties. I am a Canadian. I paid approximately about $113 with customs and duties. So for me, it came to about $55 per month, and that's Canadian. So now we've kind of gone over what Lovevery is, the product, and the cost. Now I'm going to talk about our experience of it and kind of my thoughts on each item. He just woke up from a nap, so he's a little bit energetic. Starting with the spinning rainbow. So this is a toy. It is well built. That's what I love about this company, is that the toys are all really great quality. So it's a really nice toy. It looks really nice. It's one of those toys that you can put on the shelf and display, and it looks great, as well as your baby can play with it. It's great for teaching them colors, though I find that usually he wouldn't play with it for super long. He'd kind of spin it for a little bit, and then he'd go off and play with something else. It wasn't something he was super interested in. I know it'll be great, as I said, like once he gets a little bit older and for learning colors, it'll be nice to just spin it and help him learn his colors kind of thing. But as a toy, it wasn't something he was super engaged with. Next is the magic tissue box and the magic tissues. This is something he played with a lot. He really enjoys playing with this, pulling all the tissues out, and then he'll just play around with the different tissues. They've got nice bright patterns on them and colors. He can also... Are you trying to tell them what you think about it? They're also cloth, so you don't have to worry about them chewing on them. Like, they're totally safe for them to chew on, which is great. I did find it a little bit hard. I did find it a little bit hard to load the box, just because each tissue has a little slit in one corner, and then you're supposed to stick the opposite end of another tissue through that slit and kind of like make a chain, so that when he pulls one out, it brings the top of the other one up for him to grab. But I found that it is kind of tricky to load. You have to kind of, I don't know, you can't just string it through and they'll pull up. I find a lot of the time I'm having to grab the next one and pull the tip up for him. Or I'll try to ring them together so it will put up the next one, and then he'll end up pulling out all three. So it is a little bit difficult to load, but it is something that he really enjoys playing with. It doesn't work super well on its side. I find that usually when he's trying to pull out a tissue, he just ends up pulling the whole box into his face. You'd kind of have to sit there and hold it for them when it's on its side. Once he's sitting up more, I'm sure he'll be playing with it a lot more, because it works a lot better upright. So I think this is something he's gonna be playing with for a long time. He really enjoys playing with it. It's a great toy. I just wish it was a little bit easier to get the tissues to come out the way they're supposed to. The next one is the Tummy Time Wobbler. And this is another one that I really love and something that he really enjoyed playing with. Not quite as much now that he's moving around, but before he was really crawling, it was really great. Actually, shortly after we got it, he was playing with it, and that's when he started crawling, because I would put it a little bit out of reach and he'd go chasing after it. So it's definitely a great toy for tummy time, especially since they can't really knock it over. Like, you knock it over and it comes right back up. I had another one that was similar to it, but he kept pushing it over and then he'd kind of get uninterested in it. Tummy Time Wobbler is really great for when they are doing a lot of tummy time. Right now, yeah, he just crawls around now and he doesn't stay in one place for very long. Next one is the Montessori Ball. Babies love balls. He loves playing with balls and chasing after them. He doesn't so much handle it. I think his hands are still a little bit small. The areas for him to grab are quite big. He has trouble still getting a good grasp on them just with his hand size. He more just, I'll bat it around and he'll kind of chase after it. Once his hands get bigger and he can grab it a little bit better, he'll probably play with it a bit more. And it's a great way to teach them about balls rolling and how they work and that kind of thing. Next is the play socks. And these are, I think these are kind of cute and kind of fun. They're kind of cute and kind of fun. Every time they kick, they make little jingle noises. He hasn't ever really tried pulling them off. Usually he'll just try to grab onto the ball and then pull it into his mouth. And he'll kick around with them, but he does have a lot of fun grabbing his feet when he's playing with them. Now that he's crawling around everywhere, sometimes it's great to just put them on him, so I know where he is all the time. I just have to listen for the bells and I know exactly where he is. So that's not exactly what they're meant for, but I mean, hey, if it works. Next is the Parts of Me book. This book is quite short. There aren't really that many pages to it, but I love that there is actual kids and babies on it. He really enjoys looking at it. And again, I don't have to worry about him wrecking it. All his books have to be board books or cloth because otherwise he will just destroy them. So this book is great because it's got nice thick pages, so you don't have to worry about them destroying it. It's not gonna get destroyed. I mean, maybe if they like hardcore chew on it, but I don't usually let him chew on it, so it's fine. It's a great way to learn about parts of the body, you know, kind of point at the picture, like if it's talking about the mouth, then you can like point at their mouth or your mouth and, oh, don't play with that. They can start to get an idea of parts of the body and where they are and the words for them and that kind of thing. And it's also great for developing language. I've heard so many, I've heard from so many places and so many different websites that I've looked up or articles. Reading to your baby is so good for developing language. So books are fantastic. So I really love that they include a book. I'm pretty sure they include a book with almost every box, which is great. Yeah, reading to your baby is fantastic. They've got a bunch of different topics. I think one of them is like sign language. Another one is kind of about their emotions, how they feel, that kind of thing. And last is the info cards. These I thought were really helpful. It was one of the things I was really looking forward to with getting the box. It's just having this information about my baby, how they're developing, how I can help them. There's a lot of really good information out there. I'm sure you could probably find pretty much all that information online, but it is nice having it all in one place. If you want to know, like, what is my baby learning in this month, you can just go look at the pamphlet instead of having to look it up. Now, with all that said, do I think that the Lovevery kit is worth the price? As a Canadian, I'm kind of on the fence about it. Now that I've tried it, I know there are some toys that I really love and that I know he enjoys playing with. And then there are other ones that I've seen that he's not super interested in. Another thing is that you're getting these boxes every 2 months, which means every 2 months you're getting another set of toys. And so over time, that can really build up. From some reading and stuff I've done, I have found that babies can get a little bit overwhelmed if they have too many options or too many choices for toys to play with. Which, I mean, I guess you could do toy rotation, and I'm sure like some of the toys would get put away as they move up. Just for me personally, living in a small space, we don't have a lot of storage, and having to find a place for new toys every 2 months or finding places to store them, it builds up and it can be difficult. For me personally, I don't think it's something that I would subscribe to get all the boxes. Maybe occasionally I would go through and pick a box that I liked, which is one thing I like about their website is you can actually go through and see what you're getting in each box. So if you decide there's a box that you're not really interested in, then you can skip it, which is great. But spending $113 every 2 months is just not affordable for us. We don't really have the space for all the stuff we would get. Now, I do really love some of the toys we got, and I know that he will probably be using them for a little while. I would probably prefer to spend some of that money on just getting 1 or 2 toys to help his development instead of getting 5 or 6. It is definitely super convenient that you don't have to do any of the research to figure out what your baby needs at that stage. It's all done, it's there for you. So if you can afford it and if you have the space for it, I think it's fantastic. But as someone who does not have the budget for it or the space, I would probably put that money into just getting a couple of things that I think he would really enjoy and would be beneficial to him. That is my personal opinion and my thoughts. If you have a different opinion, or if you had the box and you absolutely love it and would get it every single time, that is great. Honestly, if I could afford it and had space for it, I would probably think more about getting it for him each month, but just right now, it just really wouldn't work for us. That is my opinion on the Lovevery box. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful and informative. If you did, leave it a thumbs up. If you have not already, I'd love it if you would subscribe, hit the bell button so you don't miss my videos when they come out. And I'll see you guys next time. I think we're just gonna go sit and have some cuddles for a little bit. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.